Welcome back to my channel. I got my pumpkin spice outfit because it's October. I love my outfit today. Let me just say that. I have a show later, so I just get ready as soon as I wake up. It gives me life and purpose. But if you're new here, my name is Kyra. Welcome to my channel. And don't forget to subscribe and like and go follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get a 7K on Instagram and go follow me on TikTok. Okay. Now that's out of the way. Today we're going to talk about the problems of Marc Jacobs' Heaven. I want to start this video off by saying that I love Heaven's aesthetic. I wish I could be Heaven. I am jealous of anyone that can afford Heaven, and I've never had a piece of Heaven before. Now, if you live in LA, there is a Heaven store. I pass by it all the time on Fairfax. It's such a cute store. I never feel like I'm good enough to go in it because I know I can't afford anything in there. A lot of the people look like this. I want to be them, but also I don't. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with it. Like, I want the new AirPods, but I can't afford it. I want to be those cute TikTok girlies that are just like showing their outfits and just lip syncing to a cute song, get like millions of likes. But we're here. What I get from Heaven is just like the cool kids, you can't sit with me kind of thing. It really plays off of the weird girl aesthetic and of course like Gen Z trends. I feel like Heaven, like if Gen Z were a band, it would be Heaven. I'm pretty sure. Like, yeah, like the reason that I wanted to make this video is I'm personally conflicted about my thoughts about Heaven, and I feel like a lot of people are really attracted to Heaven for various reasons. I feel conflicted about Heaven because it comes off as fake. What I mean that it comes off as fake is like this faux artistic weirdness.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in, and I don't want to fit in. Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on? That's weird.
That is not actually weird. It's just trendy. I don't know. Like, look at the pictures. Like, it's cute. Platforms, just weird two-headed bunny thingies, like, but it's cute and it's trendy, you know? These people are seen like having like a weird girl aesthetic. That's kind of what's been popping off on TikTok, at least from what I've seen, is just like the weird girl is now also the popular girl, but it's just because the weird girl aesthetic is now being popularized by white skinny girls. Like, if I were to do that, not that I don't, but like it looks, generally speaking, it looks more cool on those types of people, you know what I mean? And it just gets to me. Also, it's just like I feel like they're playing off like the weird, like quirky, outcast kind of people, but then they're not outcasts. They are literally celebrities, like Doja Cat, Winona Ryder. Like, these are people that you want to be and you want to emulate, and they're not the ones getting bullied or being called weird or just being made fun of because they have a different kind of fashion sense. But then this word girl aesthetic became trendy and became mainstream, which before it wasn't mainstream. Like thrifting, like how thrifting wasn't mainstream before. Like, people would look down on people who went thrifting or get called poor. I'd get called poor. I'd get made fun of for wearing my grandma's clothes. Like, this is my grandma's dress from like the 60s. Like, if I were to wear this before, and I did a lot, people make fun of me. They took this aesthetic of those who would get bullied for wearing these kinds of things or mismatched clothing or whatever, you know. They're putting it on a celebrity and now it's cool instead of the clothing itself actually being cool. So I think that's where I'm like, okay, well, I'm obviously buying into the hype of Heaven. And of course, like, Marc Jacobs is a famous designer. It's going to be expensive because it's Marc Jacobs. The second reason I want to talk about this was because I stumbled upon this YouTube video by Fashion Lover 4. Their video is how Marc Jacobs ruined Heaven, so go watch it. I'll link it in the description. It's such a good video exploring this topic, and I guess I kind of wanted to respond to it in a way because they bring up a lot of good points. But first, let's look at the history of Marc Jacobs. So 2019, the Marc Jacobs launches. 2018, Redux Grunge collection. And I think this collection is really cute because it's blatantly saying that it's playing off the 1993 styles and stuff while still incorporating modern embellishments. silhouettes and things like that. That's Marc Jacobs' play on it. Marc Jacobs Madison opens Uptown NYC. Marc Jacobs Beauty launches. Bookmark Week Bleecker Street NYC opens. It's a bookstore. I didn't even know that. Marc Jacob Daisy launches. My sister has this perfume. First store opens downtown NYC. Original Grunge collection in 93. Wins CFDA award for new fashion talent in 92. 1984, in the same year, he graduates Parsons School of Design in NYC. And I would have loved to have gone to Parsons. So it says Marc Jacobs is born in NYC in 1963. He graduated from Parsons School of Design, where he was youngest designer ever to receive the CFDA's Perry Ellis Award for New Fashion Talent. In 1992, Jacobs showed his grunge collection for Perry Ellis. In April 94, he successfully debuted his eponymous collection. Since then, he spearheaded countless successful ready-to-wear handbag, fragrance, cosmetics, and book launches. I didn't know about the book launches, to be completely honest. So we look at the Heaven by Marc Jacobs website. There's a lot of things going on here. Like, it's so cute, you know. This is like literally, if you were to go on TikTok, you'd probably see this. And if you look at the fall 2020 lookbook, Fruits is a legendary Japanese street style Bible founded by, I'm gonna say the name wrong, Shoichi Oiki. In 1997, a monthly magazine devoted to chronicling the budding fashion subculture Tokyo. Creative brands like Marc Jacobs were amongst those heavily featured in these street snaps throughout the last 20 plus years as an ode to the psychedelic fruit style. Marc Jacobs commissioned Aoki to capture a series of fashion-inclined subjects. I think that's interesting. I didn't know this, but I know that a lot of people suggest for me to look at Fruits. And I follow them on Instagram, and Fruits, it used to be a Japanese street style magazine that would showcase actual people wearing I don't know, actual people, like there's fake people, you know what I mean, just everyday wear in Japan. Why did I say Japan like that? It's just a fall lookbook. Like this is very Fruits, like just everything about this aesthetic. And oh my god, and they're wearing Heaven and holding that, so you could see the influence of Fruits. Definitely, I feel like Fruits is definitely making a comeback, and I feel like it's just like the Fruits aesthetic, which I feel like can also be interchangeable with the Weird Girl aesthetic, because I think they're like practically the same thing. Like they have the same aesthetic to me. Look, even Doc Martens made a collaboration with Heaven, and it's literally just Mary Jane's with the Heaven logo in it. Like, I think that's a pretty lazy brand collab a little bit. I don't know. It's still very cute. So that's pretty much Marc Jacobs. And let's read this Vogue article. It says Marc Jacobs launches Heaven, a new collection of teen dream fashion. You know, baggy pants, sweater vest, etc. And oh, it shows the same things on the Marc Jacobs website with Fruits. Heaven is a direct-to-consumer collection, one that pulls up the heartstrings of those who wish for nothing more than crawl back into our childhood bedrooms, slide open our Verizon chocolate phones, and trade our teen angst for a date with the hot Marc Jacobs store employee. Consider its Instagram page, which mimics the bedroom walls of any fashion kid from the aughts, with its M by MJ campaigns of MIA and Dakota Fanning, its grungy fashion for now, and studied style with a tinge of cuteness that bucks Insta-filtered life, and a lot of cool stuff to buy to make you feel hopeful about the future. So let's look at the Instagram page. Instagram in general is just, it is what it is. Obviously, people just post things to showcase whatever they want to show in their lives, basically, and it is really cute. I'm not gonna lie. The aesthetic is there, Gen Z. A lot of these photos are obviously super curated, like they have Winona Ryder and Doja Cat. Love Doja Cat. Oh, Marc Jacobs creative director, Louis Vuitton. Creative directors are funny. Very edgy, angsty, whatever. Oh, this is what I was talking about. This Heaven billboard is literally in LA. This looks like Fairfax to me. I could be wrong, but it's somewhere. This is Olivia Rodrigo wearing Heaven. Wow. I think I found funny, it's kind of off topic though, is that Heaven also puts on the bottom. Okay, so under values, I wanted to like check it out. And they have social responsibility as one of their values. And then if you look at it, it shows the charities Marc Jacobs and Robert Duffy are committed to giving back to communities where they have stores and been involved with over 60 charities. Continued support of these charitable projects continue to be top priority and matter of pride for Marc Jacobs in Toll family. So they donate to the Sado Project. It's dedicated to rescuing abandoned abused dogs from Puerto Rico. I've rescued and rehabilitated over 1,400 dogs and continue to work towards systematic change through... Oh, I think I have a typo. Pretty sure that's supposed to be through education and not though education and partnerships on the island. So now we can look at the sustainability. I feel like being like having sustainability in your values is always like essential, especially for now. You kind of have to have like sustainability if you want to be taken seriously. That's just how the fashion industry is now. So it says Marc Jacobs international innovation, creativity, excellence, and craftsmanship and careful consideration for how our work affects the natural environment are all integral to our products. Making clothes are safe to wear for all our customers is of the highest priority for Marc Jacobs International. Detailed in our stringent supplier compliance program, we maintain an ongoing product testing program to ensure compliance with our principles, regulation that govern our business. Regular, random, and unannounced audits and inspections of our suppliers to verify their social performance and working conditions. We recognize that there's always room to enhance our practices, reduce environmental impact, goal of zero impact on the environment, and we pursue that goal aggressively. Very vague, I would say. And then the supply chain, this is just a lot of things. You know, it says that they're committed to conducting business in a lawful, ethical, and responsible manner. Question of ethics comes up a lot with Marc Jacobs and how ethical with them allegedly stealing from smaller brands, things of that nature. Well, when Fashion Lover was critiquing Marc Jacobs Heaven, they said that like it looks cheap and you can find a lot of these things at thrift stores. A lot of it is just trendy road girl pieces, and honestly I think it looks really cute. Like they know their market, I'd buy it. And I do agree that it shouldn't be priced that high, but also Marc Jacobs is an established designer, and I do believe like get your money for your value. If people value your stuff, then you should be able to get money from that. Then it comes to the question, does Marc Jacobs steal designs? Is Marc Jacobs even original? If we get into the whole debacle of like, is anything original, originality, and things like that, like it just goes into endless cycle, I think. But I feel like Marc Jacobs is established, the prices are there. Again, I think the biggest problem for me is that these cool influencers and celebrities try to be in the weird girl aesthetic, and I don't think weird girl aesthetic should be gate kept or only a certain person can wear it, but it just screams inauthenticity and it's disingenuous. And I honestly don't really like aesthetics anymore. I just think this brand in particular just fits into the mold of every Gen Z TikToker that's out there, this longing nostalgia of things that we don't even know of, that we've never even experienced, but we tend to romanticize it and love the angst and being edgy and quirky. Now, is there something wrong with that? Is there something wrong with this generation's obsession with aesthetics and everything looking pretty? Yes and no. I think, at least in my opinion, I guess I'm leaning towards yes, just because we're so obsessed with how things look when in real life that's not how things are. So Fashion Lover brings up Shop Heaven, which I have been to multiple times, and I'm so glad someone talks about this. And it's an event that takes place in LA, and I love going to Shop Heaven, and I've missed going to it, and it's just a really cool place. It's in a warehouse at this venue called 1720. Shop Heaven's a promoter, and the vibes are immaculate. It's so cute. I'll put some pictures there from the times I went with my friends, and it's always been a fun place. It's like a safe place. There's like dog hair workspace, and the fashion is amazing, you know, and not to mention the DJ sets that are there, and just the whole music scene is so great, and you know, it's very underground scene. But I didn't know that they used to have a fashion line or like hosted smaller designers, which Fashion Number 4 mentions and says that Marc Jacobs took or allegedly stole the name of Shop Heaven and basically marketed off to create an underground aesthetic without doing anything to add to the culture. And again, that is the problem, that Marc Jacobs does not add to the culture. He capitalizes off this queer culture of this aesthetic. Not even just aesthetic, but this art form, because fashion is art. It's just the original ideas of the weird, queer, and out there aesthetics art, and ideas of just that he's profiting off of for Gen Zers and TikTokers who are also going through trends like their boyfriends. So it's easy for consumption, easy for social media. It is for status, it is for the image, and nothing about Heaven has to do for culture or the people behind aesthetic. It's just a brand. But is it wrong for a brand to be just a brand? That is the purpose of a brand, is it not to make money? Again, I think yes and no, but like normally brands have values or a mission statement. And honestly, I feel like Marc Jacobs Heaven is just their mission is to make money. So I wanted to bring up one more brand, and this one is not well known of at all, and it's one of my friend's brands I went to school with, and I made a TikTok about it when it first came out, and I don't know if I deleted it. I'll try to include screenshots or the TikTok itself. So Heaven Industries is more like a skateboarding brand, but you can see that it's very similar, especially during this time. It's the best of my knowledge. They, meaning Heaven Industries, does the font and typography, if you will. The pictures show, or this TikTok shows, that the Heaven Industries were circa 2019, a year before Marc Jacobs released their Heaven earrings. Now, I don't have the screenshot. I don't know how many people are going to see this, but if you're interested in fashion, please keep watching. So I've noticed that on my For You page, there's a lot of people calling out big designers, brands, and influencers for copying smaller designers, brands, and influencers. And I'm going to say allegedly, Marc Jacobs has copied Heaven Industries. So I have a bag from Heaven Industries. My friend is part of Heaven Industries, so I'm just trying to support them. So recently, a lot of people have been tagging Heaven Industries and Heaven by Marc Jacobs, which is Marc Jacobs' line, I believe, or collection, because there's a lot of similarities between the fonts that they use. So this one is someone tagging Heaven Industries because they bought a keychain from them back in 2019, and the top one is Marc Jacobs. If you can tell, like, they're pretty similar. Here's another example of Marc Jacobs. And here's Heaven Industries. A lot of people have been talking about it like on Instagram and tagging Heaven Industries and Heaven, and I think that it's pretty close and similar. What do y'all think? Where it shows Eric of Heaven shows that Marc Jacobs actually looked at Heaven Industries stories, and therefore like showing that Marc Jacobs saw their stuff before they introduced the Heaven drop, basically. This is all allegedly, and I don't have the screenshots. I wish I did. I was trying to look through it through my Instagram, but the TikTok's the best that I can do. Ever since then, I had a really bad taste in my mouth from Marc Jacobs Heaven, you know, because big designers get away with this all the time, like all the time. And it's just really disheartening that bigger designers just are so lazy that they have to steal from smaller designers that they know cannot do anything, even if they wanted to. I've never purchased anything from Heaven. I probably never will, because you know, I'm really conflicted, and if I do get something from Heaven, it's probably going to be through a second seller, reseller, or Depop or something like that, because big designers always get a profit off of small designers and get away with it, and that's something I just don't want to contribute to. But I think that's it for today. Let me know what y'all think. Do you think Marc Jacobs? What do you feel about Heaven? Do you guys have Heaven? Do you think it comes off as disingenuous? Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye. You were doing so well. Did a dog eat your